moving on about the NME Awards, Best Festival Headliner went to, as we said, The Cure. And Robert Smith of The Cure was in attendance. Robert doesn't go to that many awards ceremonies and, in fact, doesn't do very many interviews at all. Not because he's anti-press or anti-media, just because he doesn't often feel like explaining himself. However, our reporter Georgie Rogers was there and met up with Robert backstage. No red carpet, bun fight, just the pair of them, I think literally in a cupboard more or less, to talk about...
But like that Close to Me video?
Exactly like that.
Carry on.
They talk about the new Cure album. They talk about what else the band are up to. They talk about the Hyde Park show they did that you went to that I didn't, that sounded amazing, and their Glastonbury performance, and just how they feel about the NME Award and getting Best Festival Headliner. So we thought we'd do this as a two-parter because it's great to hear anything from Robert Smith, and Georgie's done an awesome job. So here they are.
In a cupboard, like in that Close to Me video.
Oh, you said that once. We get it.
So, what does it mean to you to win this award at the Enemies tonight?
It did actually mean a lot more than getting an award for something that's like the godlike genius thing we got like 10 years or so ago. It's really gratifying, but it's in a funny way. It can be accorded to. It's a bit, anyone can get it. I mean, obviously not anyone, but you know what I mean. Whereas getting the live thing, you have to have gone out there and played, and the fact that we did do so many festivals last year, and I do genuinely think it was like the best sustained run of performances that we've ever had in the history of the band. It means a lot, to the whole band. We were really, really chuffed when we were told we were going to get it. So.
Yeah, I bet. 35 festival shows across 5 continents. So it must have been exhausting.
It wasn't, funny enough.
Really?
It really wasn't, no, because it's what I want to do still. It's like no, it was honestly. It's like it's still for me. It's like a dream. You go somewhere and you get to watch other people play music, and then you get on stage and you play music, and then you go and do what you do, and it's like, and then you go and do it again. It's like it's great. We visit like some of the most beautiful places in the world and play music to people, and they like what you're doing. So there's not many better jobs, to be honest.
I came to the Hyde Park, the British Summertime Hyde Park, and I remember interviewing Reeves after the show, and he said, do you remember it was that amazing sunset? He said you could almost see the curve of the earth at that gig. I think you said, I'm melting, I'll talk when the sun's gone down a bit. What are your memories of, because that kind of kicked off a lot of these shows? Yeah,
the Hyde Park show was one of 2 shows that we did, that's like 2 summers ago, which was like the 40th anniversary of the band, and so we did that really just to commemorate 40 years of playing live. It was a very emotional day. I mean, pretty much everyone we'd known all through the years, ex-band members, all our families, like everyone, apart from tens of thousands of other people that were there. Like we were there all afternoon, and we just sat down, we kind of talked about stuff. It was really, it was a perfect day actually for me. Worrying when I walked on stage, because there have been very few other times where I've walked on stage with that kind of heat and sun. We were facing directly into the setting sun. I mean, it sounds silly, but for the first half an hour I couldn't see anything. I mean, it's like just literally blinding sunlight. But once we kind of got into it, so we made a film of it, and I think it shows a little bit. We're a bit within ourselves the first sort of 15-20 minutes, and then suddenly there's something happens on stage, and the sun just like dips down a little bit, and the temperature drops, and we get going, and it's like a really, really magical night that was. And you're right, it did kind of spur me to think, well, we were going to play our own shows last summer, but I thought, no, we should really. It's the end of a 10-year period for me, because the next thing we do is going to be our own shows based around new songs and everything, new production and everything else. So I thought it'd be really nice, so last summer, this is kind of us playing the songs that we've written for the last 30 years, and it worked out really well. Everywhere we went, people kind of like reacted to it, and I think we're part of people's lives. We've got to that age of a band where, and the most gratifying thing actually, like playing the big festivals, is that you see generations of people getting into what we do, which is really, it's a lovely feeling. It's kind of weird still, because I don't feel as old as I am, seeing like 3 generations of a family at some festivals. It's an odd experience, but yeah, really nice. So the next thing we do, like I say, will be us playing, which is a completely different kind of thing. So.
We should talk about Glastonbury as well. Obviously, another triumph in all of these shows. What are your memories of playing that?
Probably the only festival of the summer that the band was nervous about, because it's like our home festival, I suppose. And I suppose it just meant more. We hadn't done it. We've headlined it 3 times before, but the last time we did it was I can't remember, 95, I think. I mean, a long time ago. So going back there, being asked to go back and headline was kind of weird, actually. I never thought it would happen. So when it did, it preyed on the whole band's mind, our communal mind, thinking like, although we knew we were playing really, really well, and we were playing, Roskilde and Pink Pop and like all these massive festivals. There's something about Glastonbury, you walk out on stage, and then there really is. I mean, we've played every single festival in the world. There's nothing like it when you walk out on stage, and there is that moment you think, I hope we're going to pull this off, And once we got going, like the second song in, I knew it was going to be a really good show, so I was really pleased with it. And the crowd, the thing I didn't really say, although I kind of jokingly say, the festivals are made by the crowd. You can play brilliantly, and if the crowd isn't with you, it's not a great experience. Thankfully, pretty much all the festivals we played last year, the crowd are they're there and they want you to be good. And as an artist on stage, that's the thing that gets you good. Because if you see people in front of you that want you to be good, I know what it's like to be, in an audience, and I know that feeling. Like, please, I've been to festivals and think, please make this great, And so you kind of respond to it, and I think we did pretty much all the time last year. So
at the end when the lights, you can see the crowd, and you put your hand over your mouth. It's that moment of like, whoa.
I've got terrible short sight, and I don't bother wearing contacts or glasses very much, only when I'm driving, in case anyone's listening. So I don't really see it unless the lights go really brightly, but when they did come on, you kind of see Glastonbury, I think, because you see all the flags and you see it disappearing, into like blackness, and you think, whoa, it's kind of odd. But because I can't pick out individuals, I've always coped with it, I think, because of that. I just see it as like, I think this isn't real, they're not real people, it's just flags.
What a legend. What an
Yeah.
absolute legend.
And you'll be hearing more from that legend, Georgie Rogers, and some bloke called Robert Smith. Part 2 of that interview coming up where they talk about the new Cure record.
Wow. How exciting. Congratulations to Georgie for getting that. Absolutely brilliant.
And it's part 2 of our interview with Robert Smith of The Cure. As we were talking about earlier, the NME Awards took place last night, and The Cure took back the Best Festival Headliner prize. It's kind of good one, as Robert was talking earlier. It's not like the Icon Award. It's like a current contemporary prize for a band that's kind of functioning at the moment, which I think made him pretty happy. So we talked about Glastonbury. He talked to Georgie Rogers, a reporter, about Glastonbury, should I say, and playing Hyde Park. But also, the big unanswered question is, when's the next Cure album coming out? When we heard from him last, it was before they played Glastonbury. He was saying, it's nearly done, it's nearly finished, been no sign of a record yet. So when Georgie Rogers got this brilliant exclusive interview with him in a cupboard backstage at the NME Awards, they talked about it, and apparently it is relentlessly sad, but also, according to Robert, the best thing they've ever recorded.
Now, Robert, tell me about new music. You have mentioned it. I read an article that said there might be 3 albums. What is going on? Where are you at?
I said that slightly tongue-in-cheek. I did one of my very few interviews last year. Because I did this thing at home where I did an hour of noise. It's not really music, it's just like an hour of noise. I was doing loops. I bought loads of different pedals and I plugged everything in, and I filmed myself on a virtual reality camera to see what it would be like, and I set loops going, and I walked around this big room just playing stuff, and that was like one of the 3 albums. It's no way an album, it's me being funny, it's just noise. If it was anyone, I'm not so stupid as to think like I can make noise and it's art, but it's brilliant fun, it's like a really good thing to do. The Cure album is, I have to sing it, it's all that's left to do, it's done, I just need to sing it, and I've sung about half of it, it's like 13 songs, and I've sung 6 of them. I just can't get some of them right, and I think after all this time, I'm not just going to be pushed. I know everyone's waiting. No one's waiting for it more than I am, honestly. But last year we were doing all this stuff, really from February right through till kind of September. We were working, and when I had time, when we did come home, for a few days, the last thing I wanted to do is kind of get in front of a microphone and start singing. So I've only really picked it back up again in December. So it'll get done, and when it gets done, it will be the best thing we've ever done. I mean, that, I have no doubt. It is absolutely brilliant, which is why I can't afford to not do the best vocals I've ever done. It's and it's not about tone or notes and stuff. It's emotion, and it's trying to capture that point where you feel something enough to communicate it, but you don't break down, because it's how I hate myself when I do that. I do it live and I get away with it because it's just like, sometimes it's too much for me and I kind of but this is going to be listened to over and over and over, hopefully into the future, and I just want it to be perfect, and it's really hard for me to get that right moment, but I will get it.
So the song, so it's written, but it's just you just got to lay down the vocal track in one you're happy with.
Everyone's done. I think there's about 3 solos which always get done, but like that I'm going to play, that get done after the vocal, so I can respond to what I've sung. But it's just I've set a studio up at home, a little studio, with the gear that I've been using to record it, so that I'm not kind of worrying about going to a studio and do it, because I think maybe that's part of the problem. That I keep thinking of that, and some of the songs are incredibly sad. They mean an awful lot to me, and I think that I'm struggling performing them in front of people. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe I should just do them, on my own in a small room. It might work, but it will get done. It will definitely get done.
And sound-wise, is it entering new territory for the band, or classic Cure?
I think it's an extreme. It really is an extreme version of. It is relentlessly sad. I have to say, we've never done anything remotely as dismal.
Really?
No, I mean, people think Disintegration and Pornography are Pornography was kind of angry and Disintegration, but had its lighter moments. This has no light moments. I mean, I've been kind of like cajoled into putting it, let's have a bit of light relief, but it doesn't work. The whole thing is it's just over an hour, and it's hard work in one way, but for me personally, hopefully people will respond to it in the way that I respond to it, which is like in a cathartic way. I know people use that word a lot, but there is something. I'm trying to create something that starts somewhere and ends somewhere, and I'm trying to take you on this sort of take you through this story that I'm trying to kind of. It's tricky talking about something when no one's heard it, but I think when people hear it, they'll understand what I've been talking about, and I honestly think it's the best thing that we've done.
Relentlessly sad.
There you go, yeah. He tried to put a bit of light in it. I was cajoled into trying to put some light in it, but it didn't work. Which is, as the point you just made was...
Yeah. I mean, I think they're absolute peak and best when they are being relentlessly... I think the word dismal is hilarious, actually. It just sort of paints certain pictures, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But Disintegration is one of the greatest albums of all time, bar none. So if it's sadder even than that...
It's got to be good.
I'm going to book a week off work when that comes out.
Obviously, thank you, Julian, for sorting that out.
Thank you.
Thank you to Georgie for doing that brilliant interview in 2 parts. The whole thing will be, if you missed it, I'm sure, just listen to the show again on BBC Sounds. And thank you to Robert. It's just, we don't hear from you much. When we do, it's just a joy.
It really is. What a true legend of the game. Yesterday we were doing Screams as our theme for Circadian Rhythms, and I almost played this and then I didn't, and now I can play it because I just played Robert Smith from the Head on the Door album. This is The Baby Screams. Beautiful.